Hey everybody, it's Brian Field with Tucson Future Classics. I'm pretty pleased to present this 2015 Chevy Spark EV to you today. It's got a 22 kilowatt hour battery. It's 11 years old, so it's depleted at a rate of about 2% per year. And that leaves you with a range of about 65 miles, realistically, if you're using the climate control. It's got level 1, level 2, and CCS charging, so you can super fast charge it at an Electrify America or BP Pulse or any one of those CCS stations. That'll shoot it full of electrons super quick. So that'll give you a full battery in probably 10 minutes tops to get from 0% to 100%. Carfax does show 2 minor cosmetic damage reports. They appear to have been professionally repaired. I don't really see any evidence where they could have been, so that's a good sign. Minor curb checking on the passenger side, which is pretty typical if people are pulling up against curbs and stuff like that, especially if it was in an urban environment out there in LA. Summit white exterior over electric blue cloth interior. It's got heated seats. It's got the Chevy MyLink audio, which is a pretty good system. However old it is, it's still a pretty modern system. It's got OnStar, which is still functional if you want it. 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot. It's got a remote start, keyless entry, single zone auto climate, so you can just set your temperature and forget about it. Set it to 76 degrees, and you're going to be happy for the rest of the summer. The thing that we love about these is just how affordable they are and what a value they represent in every way. It's just a car that you can plug in at the end of the day, and then wake up and you'll have a full charge. That's on a trickle charge. On a regular 110 outlet, it'll charge at a rate of about 4 to 5 miles per hour. The sound system is good. You've got speakers in the dash, up in the dash here, and speakers on the back deck. I've got the seats folded down so you can see the amount of cargo space that you can have if you really need it. And it handles pretty good with the wheels pushed out to the corners like this. Gives you really good stability on the highway. Let's get inside. You've got your power door locks, power windows. Up here you've got your power side mirrors. You've got your front cluster configurability station there that gives you a bunch of different ways to configure this cluster, to get the information that you want to get out of it. You've got cruise control on the left. You've got radio controls, voice commands, and phone functions on the right side here. Lots of options. I'm just going to try to run through this really quick. Dylan can show you all the functionality and setting configurations that you can personalize. I love the way this is laid out, and I love these hard materials that they use. So this is like a fake vinyl. It's plastic, and then these inlays here, the blue to match the upholstery. I like that. It's a very well thought out design. You got a little tiny cubby right here, bigger cubby right there on the bottom. Fits a good sized Nalgene bottle. It does have airbags all around, which you definitely want in a car this small. Looking into the glove box here, you do have your books, your original books. Passenger seat is in really good shape. Stepping into the back seat here, I'll just lift this up real quick so I can hop in and show you what it looks like for a 6-foot guy. There's not a lot of room, but I can fit. So you can get a good sense of how much room you got. I've got that front seat pushed up 3 or 4 inches just to give this passenger a little bit of room. It is a 4-passenger. You got your cup holder and a little tray there. Another cup holder up here. So cup holders, enough for 4 people to have 1.5 drinks each. That tray goes up there and it clips in. but for our purposes right now, I just want to show you what's underneath here. You got your factory charger, your factory inflation kit, and factory trunk net that's never been used, which is nice. There is a lot of space back here once you put these back seats down. I want to show you that real quick. It's good usable space. You get good utility and good performance out of this thing, as well as a relatively maintenance-free ownership experience. I mean, I mentioned that 5 miles per kilowatt hour. That is kind of the gold standard. That is what Lucid, the big fancy car company, aims for. And over the last 13,000 miles, we know, because the previous owner didn't reset the odometer, he got 5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is great. So your cost of operation is going to be super low. We can do some math, and I can put that up in a little scroll that can show you an example of what your commute is, what plugging in is going to cost you overnight if you use time of use from TEP, and what that's going to cost you on a daily and weekly basis. It's next to nothing. Just rotate the tires on these, change out the cabin air filters when it starts to smell. They are a water-cooled battery, which is a good thing, trust me. So you do have to change out the brake fluid and the coolant like every 100,000 miles or so. This one has been maintained. It's good to go. It's got such low miles. Under the hood here is frankly a bunch of stuff that you're not going to have to really think about. You let your EV tech, namely us, figure this stuff out when you hear a noise or when something stops functioning properly. Bring it on in. We'll take care of it for you. We've got really good rates, and we're one of the only spots in town that actually works on EVs and hybrids and plug-in hybrids. We know these cars inside and out, and if we don't, then we've got a vendor named Lee Fry who specializes in them and knows them really well. All right, now with the windows closed, I can kind of show you this mild factory tint that's going to keep some UV rays out, but keep your visibility good. It's not too dark, but hopefully protect your skin a little bit. Check that wiper function. And it does have intermittent wipers. Driving through the city and trying to negotiate all these controls that I'm not quite used to is a little bit tricky, so forgive me. I have driven this quite a bit around town, and I've driven a whole bunch of other ones. We've had probably a half a dozen or so of these, handful maybe. The notable thing about these is just the performance. 327 pound-feet of torque to the front wheels. I mean, it's not a muscle car, but in the economy car world, it kind of is. So it gets, I mean, I was going 20 miles an hour there, and I just stomped on it. The roads aren't even wet yet, and it spun the tires. And that's not because the tires don't have good tread. They certainly do. They're good, good tread tires on here. And it's not even in sport mode. If you are contending with somebody at a stoplight, or somebody is pacing you in the lane next to you and you want to get rid of them quick, that's easy to do. Climate control is very comfortable. It's got these vents, these, I don't know what style you'd call them. Dylan would probably have the exact correct name for them. But the adjustability of these, the fact that you can adjust it sideways and up and down like that, with that spinny vent, that's just great. It gives you exactly what you need, especially if you've got some solar heat coming through the window and you want to just like get it directly up your shirt sleeve. It's just super comfortable. And there's not a lot of space in here that you have to cool down. One thing we look out for in these cars is bad wheel hubs, which are easy to identify because the electric drive system just doesn't make any noise. So any noise that you hear is going to be creaks and rattles in the chassis, creaks and rattles in any suspension components or steering components that might need to be looked after. And this one had some bumps. Oh, let me get those windows all the way up. There is some wind noise. It's a bit of a high-profile vehicle for being an economy vehicle, but it cuts through the air pretty good. You got a good tall windshield, and yeah, great visibility all the way around. There's plenty of room for my knees. There's no console going up the middle where I'm gonna hit my knees. And on this side, it's pretty comfortable. I'm 6 feet tall. I've got the seat pushed all the way back, but there's room for that water bottle without my leg hitting, and my leg rests up against the door handle. And the driving position is nice. All the maintenance is done. It's good to go. And because all the maintenance is done, that is going to give you tens of thousands of miles of virtually maintenance-free service. So if you're buying this for yourself, or you're buying it for your kid going to U of A, you don't really have to worry about them. Just let them plug it in at night just like their phone. Drive it the 40 or 50 miles a day that they're going to need to. You'll probably get about 60 miles of real-world range, as I mentioned. We do have a couple of diagnostic tools for these Sparks and Chevy Volts and Bolts that will show the state of health of the EV battery. This one is over 70%, pretty consistent with 2% a year degradation from new. And these batteries really don't fail very often. When they do, they are rebuildable, and we do have a source here in town who will rebuild them for a fraction of the cost that you could get at a big dealership. So whatever we can't do ourselves, we farm out to our vendor. Let's increase our speed a little bit. Get it up to 75. The police are out today, so I'm going to try to keep it reasonable. But yeah, track straight, drive straight, stop straight. Handles great. It's not squirrely, which is something that you can experience in a vehicle like the BMW i3. It's got these little tiny pizza cutter tires. This one does not. This one has pretty good wide, low-profile tires. So I'm just driving with my knee right now, going past this truck, and I've got no worries at all. It's tracking good. I'm going to get off the highway here, get onto the surface road, and do a 0 to 40 to 0, and check out that ABS. Looks like we're all clear in front of me and behind me, so we're going to do a 0 to 40 to 0 to stress test the car a little bit and show you there's nothing hinky going on under acceleration or hard deceleration. Test that ABS pump, ABS system, make sure it's going to be safe in an emergency situation. Here we go. It's just crazy. All right, that was my Nalgene bottle falling off the seat. But yeah, it spun the tires almost all the way up to 40. So if you want to do that, you can. Like I said, 327 pound-feet of torque going to the front wheels. That said, torque steer is kind of at a minimum. Like I didn't have to hold on and make any adjustments left or right. For the most part, it puts the power down to each wheel pretty evenly. So in an emergency acceleration situation, which, depending on your tendencies as a driver, you might encounter more of those than your average person. Or an emergency deceleration situation. It's a nice light car. It's got a lot of power. It's got great brakes all the way around. The ABS system works great. All the peripherals on this do work as well. You know, all the lights, all the wipers, all the functionality is good. Yeah, I mean, for $5,000, you really can't do much better. Just to wrap up here, I do sincerely like these cars. I mean, we get stuff like this too. That's going to be listed in a month or so. But for the value, this is 10% the cost of this. And I can't honestly say that it is 10% of the driving experience. It's a great solution to a problem that a lot of people have. And for that $5,000 price point, we're really happy to be able to sell these, and we're really glad that we know and understand these types of vehicles, so we can help you along the way. If you have any questions about it, if you're a newly converted EV person, or if you are familiar with EVs, then we understand why you're going to gravitate towards something like this. So we'll be able to have a nice, honest conversation about what the car is, what the limitations are, and what the benefits are.